Good morning. Welcome to Presence of Light with Charlie Riverman here on Humanity Healing Facebook. It's a joy to be with you this morning and know that we are gathered not only in our hearts, but in our physicality around the world, honoring our own presence here and the presence of our love, which is part of today's topic. It's love and leadership. Good morning, Margaret. Good morning, Pat. Good morning, Catherine. It's a joy to be with all of you again. I know that we are in different time zones around this beautiful planet Earth. And so wherever you are and whatever part of your day, I just want you to set this space aside to know that there really is no time. That when we gather from our heart space, time doesn't exist. It's a connection that surpasses all conscious awareness. And that's what I like about doing these talks, is when I come into this moment, I realize that there is no separation amongst any of us, that each of us are totally reflecting who we are in this moment, whether we're speaking or listening. And the message is always brought through me, to you, for you. It's not about me at all. And that's been my grace this morning as I awoke and the topic became love and leadership. It started out as leadership, and I said, what is that about? And then love came in, and I realized that little saying there that I put at the top of the page is really important for us to know, that what we're experiencing in the world today is leadership without love. And we're the ones who are going to change that, whether we're consciously aware of it or not. So that saying from Alphonse de Lamartine is, do you think there is not enough love in you to love the world? Then know this: your heart is as deep as the deepest ocean, fed from a source that never runs dry. And that's a quote from another passage. Do not worry about the insufficiency of your smaller heart, for you are a part of the greater heart that is limitless. Another part of a message about love, about our heart, our limitedness, our limited ability to not only experience love on a personal level, but experience love on a global level and a divine level, and bring it all forward into creating leadership that is ever abundant, is ever consciously aware of its purpose. And with that, that statement is really, all of those statements are really how we are to govern and lead ourselves in this coming about future time. So today around the world, I believe they're celebrating a climate day or a climate strike. And each of us realize that our planet is really shifting into states of beingness that are not fully in alignment with life on Earth of different species. And we look at this leadership around the world who, for whatever reason, refuse or deny its presence and continue to do things in a manner that is creating harm and danger to not only humans, but all species. Now, we can take a side of pro or con, we can argue all of these things, but the reality remains that our water is being poisoned, that our air is being polluted, that our food is being genetically transformed, and the results of that are not in agreement with divine creation. So here we are. Where do we go? How do we put love into action here and deepen our relationship, not to come out as leaders perhaps ourselves, although many of us will be leaders in our own little communities or our own tribe or maybe just our own families, perhaps only in our own mind. But this stepping into leadership from love is really what is needed right now. So I pulled a card this morning, which I know you all love my card, these beautiful meditation cards. I can't find where I put it, which is always fun when I do things and then forget what happened to them. I don't know where I put it. I don't know what I did with it. And I'm left to say, okay, what is this all about? What this is all about is my leadership. It's about me stepping into the leadership role of me, over me, my sovereignty, and saying, can I speak without the prompts? Can I speak from my heart? Can I speak from love without always using somebody else's words? And the truth is, yes, I can. However, it's about love. That's why I'm here. My love for you, my love for planet Earth, my love for all life. It's not a question of importance. And that's when I want to express that love and leadership aren't about importance of the ego. It's about importance of expressing our hearts and being firm and confirmed in our ability to share this information with others without guilt or shame or fear. And so many of my talks are about fear. And so this morning, the Ivory Swan Goddess card that I pulled from the Kuan Yin deck spoke both of grace and purity, which are part of love. In order to fully express love, it has to be done with grace and in purity. And the purity of our soul, I always love to say, my guides have given me soul as a source of unconditional love, which exists before all of us, before we're even manifested into form, is that source and our connection to that source. And the card read, the purity of your soul light never fades. beloved. Release guilt, shame, judgment, or fear that you are not enough in any way, so that you may realize that your beauty and be more of yourself and shine your divine essence into the world. This is the leadership that I'm talking about. The leadership of each of us coming to that place of self-love, not ego mind self-love, but heart self-love, the opening of that lotus of our heart, and truly tapping into loving ourselves as each other, in each other, with each other, for each other. And this will lead us to the leadership that we need to express in this new coming of a human era. New comings. I love, in 3 days, we're going to celebrate the equinox. And for me, the equinoxes are important in my world. I look at them as the yin and yang points of my calendar year, where we come into equal balance. And, we have the solid stability of one, and yet we have the dynamic motion and energy of the other, equally juxtaposed with each other, and giving us an opportunity to witness them simultaneously before they move and shift and change. So it's a moment of stability for me in the equinox to tap into that deeper level of myself. And I encourage each of you over this equinox day coming is to really tap into that deeper part of yourself, your soul level, and rebalance. How you do it is less important than becoming consciously aware of bringing yourself into that balance. So just as outside of us we have equal light, day, night, so too are we to come to that place in non-judgment, in just gratitude, and deepen our relationship with this true being that we are, this being of light. And that, in turn, will encourage you to step forward from that in a place of leadership, not so much of others, but of yourself. So I don't mean to be preaching. I see some people on the sidelines here. So what is this leadership? So the leadership card I pulled read it like this: I have great leadership qualities. I am courageous and strong. I know the universal spirit guides me along. So we have the I am, speaking to the ego mind, saying, yes, Charlie, you have great leadership qualities. Yes, Mary, Joe, Sue, Pat, Heather, Amanda, Joelle, Julia, Ada, Janice, you are courageous and strong. Know that the universal spirit is always there to guide you, always there to express through you if you come back to this place of love. It's when we step out of that space of love that the mind starts to take over and starts to calculate and starts to generate thought patterns that is gathering information from the outside and then realigning it so that it's comfortable, because it doesn't like being uncomfortable. The mind wants everything to fit. But sometimes it's the not fitting that becomes the reason why we will step out into leadership. It's when we look out in the world around us and you say, something's wrong here. Something's not right. And we're aware of it. And it's not right because it's not aligning with our hearts. This alignment with our hearts is really the important piece in our evolution, not only in our spiritual evolution, but our physical evolution. Because what we're seeing is this dissonance, this separation, this confusion of saying, how can you, as the leaders of our world, think this is okay? How can you not see that there's something wrong? And we don't expect you to make it right, but at least admit that there is something wrong. So this Climate Day, children, led by children, people are striking, having a climate strike, standing up, and just expressing that, hey, enough is enough. We have to really come together as a whole for the future generations of humanity. I'll be gone in, short time. Many of you will not be here. But it's up to us who are still here to encourage love and leadership in the hearts of these children. Getting back to that leadership card, the affirmations were this: as I take control of my own life, I know I have power and guidance. So what do we do when we take back control of our lives, when we step back into that sovereign freedom of self, capital S self? And we know at some point that we have power and guidance. How are we going to step out and express that? It's up to us to look for the children who are looking for us. They're looking for leaders. They're looking not so much for us to hold their hand and say, okay, come with me, but those of us who will encourage them to tap into their leadership. Not because we want something personally, but because we love being human. We love living on planet Earth. We love being the expression of peace, light, and love. My actions are divinely guided. So, as you know, I always talk about divine guidance. And this morning I was awakened at 333. What can I say about 333? It's a divine number. It's a trinity. It's a 9. It's no matter how you look at it, numerologically, you're being told, or I was being told, we're here. Your angelic guides are here with you and supporting you. Just giving me that confirmation that says, I don't know why you're here. I don't know what this is all about, but I do thank you for showing up. So as we move into this turning of love within us and this leadership that we're going to represent for the future generations, know that we're not alone. Know that the guidance will come forward. That yes, we're going to make mistakes. Yes, we're going to take wrong turns. But in each movement that we go through, we have the power within us and the support now. More support than we ever had in the history of humanity to turn this around. And we're being asked to be leaders. And as I said earlier, it doesn't matter whether you just lead somebody in your family or lead yourself. It's, it's as simple as that. Take a stand. Doesn't mean you have to go out and protest. Doesn't mean you have to send money. Doesn't mean, but in your heart, make a commitment to life. Without love, there's no life. There's existence, but no life. So not only in this presence are our actions divinely guided, we are more powerful than we realize. And that was the last statement, basically referring to is this power, this ability to be tuned in to opportunities for achievement. What does that mean when I say achievement? What are we really trying to achieve? But the restoration of harmony and balance, really. We're not asking for something that never existed. It existed. And because of our human activities and our, the words coming, childlike recklessness, we are now all in a process of releasing the damages that have occurred within us, both energetically and biologically. So as we come into this time of wonder, wonder who you are, wonder how you're being called to express your love and leadership. Move forward without fear, knowing that the universe supports you. Your supreme guides support you. And granted, we may not have the money or the time or all of these things. We may sense this sense of lacking within us. But the message I repeat over and over again and have for the past month or so is do what you can where you are with what you have. And know that that tiny little bit of effort of, I liken it to planting the seed. Just taking the time to dig a little hole and plant a seed is all it takes. And if each one of us take on just that role of leadership, of being a seed bearer or a seed planter, collectively, it will all happen. So that's the message of how love and leadership came together this morning. To remind you and to remind me that our roles are deepening. Our roles are not as superficial as we thought. It's not all about the ego. It's not all about my personal comfort. It's not all about me. It's about all of us together as a whole being, a being we call humanity. I love you dearly. And those of you who are expressing your love in angels, please connect with them. Please, whatever you feel is calling you as a higher source of love and information, tap into it. Because the key is love. And you know when it's love, and you know when it's not. And so it's easy to tell when you're off the track. If you're not feeling any love about it, doesn't mean it's not important information, but it's when it's attached to love, it's for the good of the whole. This is where we're at. This is where we're stepping into. Yesterday morning, it was the enfolding of the fabric. So as we weave a fabric, we create all of these beautiful lines and patterns. And when it unfolds, it not only folds over on itself, but now the patterns of this side and the patterns of that side come together and then create a whole new pattern. This is what we're doing. This is what we're all here to respect in each other and not diminish each other in any way, shape, or form for, oh, well, this person could be that, or that person could be better. Let's stop pointing the fingers. Let's open our hearts and say, what is my role in this? At 70 years old, I don't feel the need to do what I did when I was 16. Yet the passion I have for humanity, or had when I was 16, has grown. And I know that each one of you have lived enough life now to look back and say, I'm no longer where I was, but I'm not too sure where I am right now. And it's time now for you to step into that role of love and leadership. They're not separate. We're all one. We're all together. Let's begin to show the world what that really looks like. I bless you all. I thank you all. I let go of my show notes. All right, read some. I've lost some. It doesn't matter, because this is who we are. We are love, and we can lead others. And last week I played one of my bowls, and today this one, as I close, is connected to your solar plexus. And I play this to give you strength. Breathe that in. Know that the center of your body. A golden light is filling you with its richness, its ability to transmute all pain and suffering. And remember that you are loved. I love you. I thank you. I respect you. I am you. You are me. Together, we are unity. Have a great week. Enjoy the equinox. Bless many in your walk this week, knowing that this is the beginning of our leadership. We're coming back to being aligned with the full potential of who we are as God beings. Thank you. Have a great week. Enjoy. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Until next week, I love you.